Most of you guys, you trade what you think, but you are not trade what you see. And checklist gonna help you to trade what you see, not what you think. What are we gonna talk about today? We are going to talk about the discipline gap, knowing versus doing in trading. Okay, a lot of you guys, you know what you should do, right? For example, you know you shouldn't overtrade. You should have a proper risk management. You should do this, and blah, 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 right? But are you actually doing a trading, or are you actually applying it? So I'm going to teach you the gap between this, how you can fill the gap, because once you fill the gap, you are going to do it in the trading. Okay, as I told you, there is a difference between knowing and applying, right? Or doing it. Once you, a lot of you guys, you can easily understand it, to know it, to know what's wrong. Is it about psychology? Is it about a strategy? Or is it about, let's say, the risk management? But most of you guys, you cannot apply it. You cannot do it in trading. See, these two is two different things. And there is a huge gap between this, which once we fill this gap, you're going to understand. Basically, you're going to do it in the trading. The knowing is the easy part, right? Knowing it's the easy part, right? You're just going to zoom out and you're going to see, for example, okay, we have a problem with the strategy, or we have a problem with the psychology, right? And it's so easy to understand that what is the exact problem with the psychology or the strategy. We're going to say overtrading, right? Okay, so let's say we have a problem with the overtrading. I know I have a problem with the overtrading, but why I cannot apply it in the live market? See? Now, the problem is overtrading. Now, how I'm going to fill this gap to apply in the live market? The first important thing, right? After you understand it, you are going to understand is how you can apply it to in your situation. For example, let's say if I have a strategy that is based on the low time frame, and I have a problem with the overtrading. In my situation, if I want to stop overtrading, I should put a limit, because my strategy is in the low time frame. I have an infinite, let's say, position to trade, or let's say position or contracts or anything, right? I have an infinite opportunity on the low time frame. So in my situation, it's better to, let's say, limit my trade to stop overtrading, right? Let's say for some of you guys, it's about reduce the risk management or increase the risk management. So that reason, each person's situation is different. That reason, you should sit down. Once you understand what is the problem, you should understand how to apply it in your situation. So, for example, my situation, I'm going to limit myself, catching less trade, because my strategy is low time frame, infinite. I have infinite trade on there. Let's say it's, for example, right? And what I'm doing is, in this case, once I understand how I'm going to apply it, I will going to start to put a daily limit and daily target for myself. For example, if I hit 3% profit a day, I will going to stop trading until next day. This is just an example, okay? If I hit 2 stop loss and the PNL is, let's say, 2%, minus 2%, I'm gonna stop trading for that day. Now I'm gonna do this same for the weekly and the monthly. If I hit 5% profit in single week, I will going to stop trading on that week. If I hit minus 3% stop loss or drawdown in a single week, I will going to stop trading that week. And I'm going to do the same for the month. So here, I know where I can push, where I can maximize my position. If I'm profit, if I'm in the 2% profit, I know if I hit 3%, I'm gonna be finished for the day. So I have 1% gap here. I'm gonna push myself to maximize my profit. And if I hit the 3% profit, I know I'm done, right? I know if I push more than this, I'm going to start losing trade. So I'm gonna exit happy from the market. Now, if I hit 2% stop loss, I know I hit my limit, right? And I'm done. I'm just gonna trade until the, let's say, next week. So, see, the first thing that I did, I understand my problem. The second thing that I did, I understand how can I apply it. And the last thing that I did, how to apply my situation. My bad. And the last thing is how basically the way that I'm going to apply it and design the thing for myself to apply it. Now, the last step, it's making sure that you are doing it. How? By creating a checklist and trading plan, which most of you guys, you don't have this. I have a checklist from the start, before I sit down and basically start to trade, till the set and forget, till I don't know, the all important thing. But most of you guys, you just maybe have a trading plan. So you should have a start plan, right? Because trading, in the trading, you should focus on the thing you can control. And if you want to master that perfectly, for those areas that you have a full control on it, you should have a checklist like a pilot, right? The pilots, the pilots, let's say, I don't know, in any part of the pilots, right? What they are doing is basically they have checklists before they take off and before they basically land, and they follow that checklist. So you should have that checklist too, because once you put it in your checklist every time, and once you come back, once you take a stop loss, once you come back to check your checklist, you're gonna see, oh, you missed this part of your checklist, so you took stop loss because of that thing. And if you take a stop loss, and if you take a look to your checklist and you see, okay, I didn't miss any part in my checklist, and I take a stop loss, and that's not my problem. That's part of the game, right? Checklist is gonna help you a lot because most of you guys, you trade what you think, right? But you are not trade what you see. And checklist gonna help you to trade what you see, not what you think. Because a lot of you guys, you are in the chart, okay? You start to thinking, creating a concept or strategy for yourself while you are analyzing. In the middle of the, let's say, chart, you start to creating a strat because you start to thinking, you start to deep thinking. But here's the truth, you don't need deep thinking while you're analyzing, because analyzing is a strategy, and strategy should be mechanical. And the mechanical strategy, they always have a checklist. I have 100% energy. I put 20%, 10% for technical analysis, and I put the rest for the psychology. That's why I'm a profitable trader. It's not opposite, you know. Now, how we can, let's say, spend less time for the analyzing by putting a checklist. That's it. Simple as that. Now, as I told you, the gap between the knowing and doing, it's gonna fill by like this. It's gonna be 3 or 4 parts. The first one, knowing the problem. Okay, you should understand the problem. Now understand how to approach in your situation. Okay, and design a plan that the way you want to approach it. And the last is just putting your checklist, create a checklist for yourself. So you should force yourself to follow it. That's it. This is how you're gonna fill this gap.